Welcome. This is Brother Hatim. This is FreeStyle Fridays, and Lord knows where we gonna go. Up for my mind. I've been reading all day. I've been struggling. I'm trying to master some of my inclinations, and it's been rough for me. So if I have been rude to you in any form of fashion, I apologize. If you can't accept my apology, fuck it, right? Because that's your choice. But now, so for those of you that are new to the journey, you know, you notice the difference because first off, I'm not broadcasting on Spreaker, but I'm rebroadcasting on Spreaker. So when I have time, what I do is I rebroadcast the shows. I add extra content. I put music on, and I basically enjoy myself. So Freestyle Friday is going to be the same because what I'm trying to do is open up or at least get people used to being able to comment on what I'm doing because I want to get uh, more people involved with the discussions because that's when it goes down. Sometimes it can slow it down, but other times it's good because even in the slowdown, what happens is we find out that people get what they need. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one to believe that wisdom is present in everybody. You know what I'm saying? So um, one of the reasons I put the show on is to one, encourage people to find that wisdom. And two, to give people the courage to share. Because if I get on here stammering, if I get on here messing up words, if I get up here and not sound like a trained radio professional or a guru uh, that has mastered vocabulary, maybe I give other people courage to do the same because we all have a voice and we all need to find it. We all have a love for something, and I love broadcasts. I love thinking. I love the thoughts that attack me as I'm doing these videos. People wonder, well, why don't you put up your image while you're doing the video? Because I want people to focus on the content of what I'm saying. Also, it's an easy way to promote for one of my shows. You know what I'm saying? Because the object is to develop a stream of revenue through which I could do other projects because there's certain speakers I would love to bring here to Columbus and possibly other cities where there's a possibility to build a chapter. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to build. And that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And this is just part of that. You know, one of the things that hit me today was that I was reviewing some of the books. Now, is this one dude by the name or something swelling day is something. He wrote a book. His wife wrote a book called Her Bach, which was a pretty good book. But then I got into looking up the author, and I remember a long time ago, and I've been hearing it recently a lot. That if you don't know the book that you're reading, you really don't know the book. You know what I'm saying? So I started looking up Labrise, De Labrise. Schweller's last name is spelled Schweller, small DELUBICZ. De Labrise. Schweller De Labrise. I mean, and the information that he has is deep. But then I was doing some research on him. Actually, what got me back into it, I was listening to Bobby Hemmett, and he was talking about uh, melanin and different types of human beings. And look up some of the information that he mentioned by this dude because I read several of this dude's books. As a matter of fact, some of the ideas as far as the questions that I have in geometry come from this dude. So I did some research and I found out that this dude uh, was like a major influence on the Nazi Party. It's crazy. Still good information, but you have to be careful in what you invest yourself in studying sometime because there's always an agenda. Everybody has an agenda. So one of the things we need to look at for our Freestyle Fridays, and I'm so glad I got on that, what's your agenda? You know what I'm saying? As I often quote one of my brothers in Ghana by the name of Judah Selassie, one of the things he used to ask was, "What's your program?" You know what I'm saying? What's your program? You know what I'm saying? And what's your major? And I love that piece right there. What's your major? What's your agenda? So the program is the thing that you're gonna follow throughout the day to help you complete your day. Your major is the major thing that you focus in life. You know what I'm saying? That's how he looked at it. He didn't know. I'm not talking about college. I'm talking about your major. You majoring. You know what I'm saying? And it's all comes down to your agenda. What is the agenda of your life? Are you just here haphazardly? Are you just here? Are you a helpless victim of the world and you here to just shovel shit for others? Are you here to be a slave for others? You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have an agenda, that's what you're going to be. Let me say that again. If you don't have an agenda, that's what you're going to be. If you don't have a major, that's what you're going to be. If you don't set your program, somebody else will. If you don't set your program, somebody will set your program for you. If you don't set your program, right, and somebody else is setting your program, they are going to set your major. And your major is not going to be for your benefit, it's going to be for their benefit and it's going to fulfill their agenda. So you have a simple choice. You can start setting your program. And by setting your program, you'll determine what your major is. And by determining your major, you'll be able to fulfill your agenda. But most of us are too lazy to do that. See, because we have been put into this gigantic. Everybody is looking for somebody to blame and for us, right? Responsibility. We're looking for leadership. We're looking for God, looking to save us. And in doing all that, what we do is we rob ourselves. We rob ourselves of the possibility to manifest our destiny. See, now let me go back to something that I was talking about on Wednesday's show. See, many of us come into this world a victim. We're programmed that we are victims in this world, that we appeared on this planet by chance. Even if our parents were married, we appeared on this world by chance. We had no choice. Our parents created us, and it was two pieces of matter that came together, a sperm and an egg. And as they came together, the result of this chemical reaction was us. And we were helpless participants in this chemical reaction as the sperm hit the egg and caused it to start moving and caused it to automatically start getting the egg decided that it was going to split into two. And those two split into four, and those four split into 16, and those 16 into 32, and those 32 into 64, and those 28, and 128 into 256. All the way up to who we are today. And because we were set and somebody else decided when we would be created and why we were created, we were a world that we have no command over. So since we had no say-so in our birth and we were just here through some chemical reaction, we are helpless victims in this world. Let's flip. Let's get on the journey shit. Let's get on the geometry shit. You know what I'm saying? What if I was to tell you that everything that you thought about the world is wrong? Starting out with your very birth. What if you could take command of your birth? What if you chose your parents? What if you chose your parents for specific reasons because it was something that you desired from them? And you decided, matter of fact, you previewed your whole life before you came here. You knew what you was going to go through, at least what you had planned to go through. if you accept the fact start this chain of events. See, because when you accept the fact that you start this chain of events, this gives you power. It's an unseeable, untouchable power. But it's a power because now you understand that you voices in this world. When you come the other way and you are a victim, one of the things about victim is that victims fall into cycles where they ever will be victims. I see it all the time, whether we're talking about adults or we're talking about kids, where they fall into a cycle of victimhood, where everything is stacked against them, and they eventually, in every situation, end up being the victim. You know what I'm saying? The person picked on them. It wasn't their fault, they just the victim. They get an F, it wasn't their fault, they're just the victim. I mean, and that's the mindset that we foster. Oh, it's not your fault. You didn't choose to be born. What if we start addressing our young people with, yo, you chose, you chose to be born. As fucked up your situation is, you chose this. And in your choice, you got to do some inner work so that you figure out there's reason to do a searching situation you in. When we start taking command of ourselves like that, that gives us a power that empowers us. At first, it's scary. See, because none of us really like making choices. You know what I'm saying? Because it burns up mental resources. It burns up mental power. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. You know what I'm saying? We prefer being the victim. See, it's so much easier being, and that's where everybody is cool right now. But I'm saying reverse that, because when you when you come on the journey, especially in Geometry trial, you have to start taking responsibilities for your actions. And I mean all of it. Your birth was not haphazard. You might not know either one of them, but you chose them. And when you accept the fact you chose them, man, your life changes. And you just like your life. See, because right now, most of y'all are living something that's not your life. It's not your life. You're living somebody else's. You're fulfilling somebody else's dream. Your time is not your time. The only time that you really have is enough time to get rested so you go fulfill, so you can work on somebody else's program that they have set out for you today. And in working their program, you major in the shit that they want you to major, and in majoring in the shit they want you to major, you fulfill their agenda. This is a call from Giami. This is a call from Brother Hatim. This is a call that are waiting for. So make a decision. Take your life. Take your life. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of the most scariest things that you ever do. But I promise you that if you take your life and take responsibility for your life, the whole thing, you will start experiencing rushes of power that eventually will turn into a magic touch. Listen, all right? You know what I'm saying? Because this world lulls us in facility, and it benefits from us being docile. It benefits from us being, see, because victims get sick. Victims get depressed. Um, Victims need to boost up the self-esteem. Victims are personalities rather than selves. You know what I'm saying? And personality, external circumstances to define themselves. When you boldly step on the journey, when you step towards the journey, what that does is that enables you, right, to move towards the self, which is absolute, complete, and perfect, and is not dependent on external circumstances to define. You don't need external things to define you. You become that self, and you be able to work towards your destiny, which will ultimately tie you in to the group that you decided to come down here and serve, right? You know, and um, another thing that the society crushes within us is the ability to really deal with conflict. You know what I'm saying? We avoid conflict. You know what I'm saying? Because part of the conflict usually start when the individuals start asking questions. You know what I'm saying? The major question that causes a lot of conflict is the question, why? You know what I'm saying? And I want you to start really looking around yourself and start asking those questions. Because as a warrior, you have to become a student of what's out of place, what's not right. You know what I'm saying? For example, let's look at the pharmaceutical company. Is it right that they are selling people drugs that never heal them? That the only way that you can relieve pain is to basically purchase every month, and you have to take one every day. You know what I'm saying? And this drug that you are taking, although it is solving one of the issues that you have, is creating three other issues. You start taking another drug that's going to cause three more issues. You got to start asking yourself questions. You know what I'm saying? Look at the justice system. Is it really justice? You know what I'm saying? Look at some of the stuff that's going on around you. Start asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Why is everybody up in arms about this? What's really going on? See, but you can't really start asking questions until you start taking ownership of you. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, you're walking around as a robot. You're walking around as an unconscious robot. You're walking around in what the world like to call their version of unity, right? See, because in the world, unity is we act alike, we think alike, we talk alike. You get down and you look at the Gianni definition of unity. Unity is nothing like that. As a matter of fact, unity comes from diversity. You see what I'm saying? Because those diverse things, and you become wise enough to know that in order for unity to prosper, there has to be some diversity in there. Because if not, you get locked into a cycle where you're repeating the same things no matter what happens. And if there's no diversity within that unity, the thing that you have created will eventually die. All things, all things need to evolve, and they evolve requires for something within it to be just a little bit different or a lot different. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's a whole nother. Start asking those questions. Start, when you in class sometime, and a lot of times the question don't require you to even address those supposed people in authority. Just to recognize who they are, recognize, well, better yet, recognize where you are, recognize who you are, recognize when you are. And you can start asking yourself the questions. When they start giving you the history, you can start asking yourself questions about history, and then actually start raising the conversation with other people, because that's why we're here. We're here to serve others. That's true leadership. See, and that's a whole nother myth that they got us caught up in. We start thinking that leadership is about us being served, because that's what's being demonstrated to us. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody show us. Leadership is about other people serving you. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, when you truly look at the leader is serving everybody else. Like if we go all the way to nature. When we look at these, you know what I'm saying? The queen mostly out nectar so she could create honey. Now she has to lay eggs every day. She got to give birth every day. Every day. And she is stuck in a small room giving birth. Same with a queen act. You know what I'm saying? When you look at leaders in nature, you know what I'm saying? Like the lion, it looked like the male lion has it easy in the pride because the woman hunt. But every now and then has to stand up to a pack, not one, to a pack of jackals. Now, I don't know if you know about jackals, but anybody that study anything about nature know that a jackal's jaw, I mean, just a bite from a jackal, you know what I'm saying, will end your life. Could bite down on your arm and basically split it in half. They have the jaw pressure of beyond a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the male lion, in order to make sure that his pride can eat, has to be able to fight. Have to be able to fight this thing off. Leadership is about serving others, protecting others, not being necessarily protecting others. See, but that's some of the shit we run into. That's some of the programming we run into. Now, once again, this is Brother Hatim. You are on Freestyle Fridays. Feel free to hit me up on the group chat. Those of you that's joining me on YouTube, you can leave me a message or whatever. I mean, I even respond to the ones I upload this eventually to my Spreaker station, but it is what it is. Another thing that's really that fit into this is running for freedom. I did a poster a while ago where I got pictures of individuals that are clothes running, and on the caption says, "Meet me when I'm running for freedom. Catch up when you figure out you a slave." You know what I'm saying? Most people don't realize it. We got the, and for some of us, we have to start accepting the fact that a majority of people will never realize that they are in bondage. They'll never wake up. And that's cool. You have to gather the ones that are close to you that do understand that and start working with them. You know what I'm saying? Real friends, real skills, and real wealth. That's what they say on the silver bullet. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't know what the silver bullet is, go to YouTube, type in silver bullet, and check out some of their podcasts. Real friends, real skills, real wealth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm focusing on developing the real friends and the real skill. You know, what is it that you could develop? What are some of the things that you could work on to start pulling yourself and maintaining being awake? Because the thing that's crazy is that the way this system is brilliant, because it takes the very things that you come up with to awaken people. The very thing that the spirit sometimes use to try to awaken you, this system will take it and flip it to where it will lull you back into a sleep. Prime example. I'm old enough to remember hip hop. I can't say I was there for the birth of it, but during the childhood of hip hop, I never got into the DJ, but I was involved. I was rapping. They got guy that carried and basically defended the culture. Somebody in my crew had issues, I had issues. You know what I'm saying? So I was one of those that held the crew together type thing. But at the beginning of hip hop, individuals was doing it for, and it was no real monetary gain from it. Every now and then somebody would get a good gig and make some money, whether it would be rapping, breaking, be contests. Winners could walk away with money, but you never really got into these events for the money. You never did it for the money, you did it for the love. You did it for the love. Now, fast forward, early 80s, late 80s, come to 1989, and it's like over a 3-month period, I saw hip hop go from a phase of awakening people to the point of where it is now. And I'm gonna explain to you how this happened. All right, now during chattel slavery or chattel captivity of my people, one of the things, because you got to understand, when you're strategizing your freedom, you got to understand that you have to plan for the long range. You have to act in the present fully, knowing that your actions that are done right now are going to affect the future. Each one of your decisions is like a domino, and when you make those decisions, you cause a cascade of events. Each action that you do, you know what I'm saying? So when you are battling for your freedom, when you are looking at the system, you got to realize that this system works wholly in the present. You know what I'm saying? Their actions are deliberate. Their actions are on purpose. Their actions are focused, and their actions are in the moment. So they act fully in the moment. The politicians can act confused if they want to. The money could come slow or whatever, but they act fully in the moment. Not acting fully in the moment, right? You're going to be defeated. Now, let me explain. So during chattel slavery, you got to understand the first group to come over to the Caribbean islands, to Brazil, to America, they had to wait for that generation to die. They had to wait for that generation to reproduce so that they could get hold of the children. And by children, they would be able to make sure that through each step they could control everything that was imprinted upon a child, because if they imprinted one generation, they never had to worry about any issues, and we can see the results of that now, right? So the first generation had died. Why? Because the generation were plugged into something deeper. The first generation were they came from Africa, and they had memories of their homeland, and they had memories of their culture. So you had to wait for the die, because you necessarily couldn't destroy that, because if you destroyed that and you destroyed them, they would not be able to breathe. So you had to at least let them have children. And you had to generation had to destroy it. You know what I'm saying? By the programming of the children. Once again, controlling that program. That programming of that child each day, bits and pieces of what you wanted them to have. And then that program will build into their major. And the major was slavery, right? Fulfilling the agenda of the slave master. Boom. You got it? All right, so let's move to hip hop. So in hip hop, we had the first generation who did it for the love. The second generation did it for the love. Possibly the third generation did it for love. But now we got other people looking at this saying, hey, there has to be a way that we could benefit from this and use this against them. You don't have to be, and this don't require genius thinking. It don't make no sense for me to make money and allow you to praise Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and talk about Marcus Garvey, and talk about freedom and teach people how to think. So if you could put that stuff to music, hell, you could put some gangster mob like shit to music that's going to basically keep motherfuckers lost. So I bring in the first generation or the second generation, and I use them, and I give them a little bit of money. And then the third generation, I start working with them, right? Because they had the influence of the older generations, but they're not really up under that generation. They see there's a possibility to make money, because I done signed some of the older cats, and I let them keep on putting their music out, right? I'm not really getting behind it and pushing it, but if it sells, I make a little bit of money. But now people know that not only can you do it for the love, you could do it as a career. So now I got a whole nother generation of individuals. Well, we're not signing anymore, Egg B and Marquez. We're not signing no more KRS One. That played out. We need something else. So they start breeding, in a sense, the next generation that they was bringing in up under their control. They let them know what they wanted. NWA dropped their shit. Boom. You know what I'm saying? They giving contracts to other individuals, and they started flooding the market with what was called at that time reality rap. You know what I'm saying? And it turned from reality rap to violent fantasy rap, because that's what we got right now. Because the streets ain't like that. Now some cities is bad, but you know what I'm saying? It is not. They're not painting a picture of reality for the majority of people that are listening to it. A majority of black people are not living like they say in these rhymes. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I have found, my magic number is 4.5%. 4.5% of any population can fuck them up or take them to heaven. You know what I'm saying? If you got 4.5% of your population fucking up, you know what I'm saying, the rest of them will be made to look like they fucking up. If you got 4.5% that are focused on doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying, that whole crew is going to move towards the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Or it's going to look like that whole crew is doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's all in who you focus on. And one of the things I'm noticing in our community is that we often focus on the pookies, right? We focus on the kids that are in trouble, because I catch myself doing that too. You know, oh, he needs more attention. And we allow the ones that really don't need our focus. You know what I'm saying? Or we feel they don't need our focus. You know, he's doing good. You know, he's able to adjust to the system. He's able to get his education. She's able to prosper. And we allow these kids to fall to the cracks. And we give all the attention to the assholes. We give all the attention to the troublemakers. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly believe that we need to stop that. You know what I'm saying? We need to start focusing on those that want to work with us. And we need to start having tests for that. We need to start having, because one of the wisdoms that I got from the African openers to the Tree of Life, they say, adolescence without a lure to mastery is like a swinging bridge. They say you have to present a youth with a lure to mastery. And we need to throw the lure and start reeling those in that are looking for the lure to master, and the things that we need mastered in our community, because we don't need no more fuckery mastered in our community. We got master fuckers right now. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no more fuckery. We need to start casting a line for mastery and start pulling those in that want to master things that we need in our community. And we need to get behind them wholeheartedly and support them. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking about young people. I'm talking about those of us that are in our prime right now. You know what I'm saying? We really need to start supporting those, because it's cool to support the youth. But the issue with just supporting the youth and not really supporting, because we need to support those that's handling the business right now. Because if we don't support those that's handling business right now, right, that's trying to get change right now, there will be no future. You know what I'm saying? There will be no future, point blank. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't handle that, we don't take care of these individuals that are out here working now, there won't be a future for our children. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get out there and do that. All right. So that's about it for me today. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all used to me being longer, but usually I have music and stuff, and I'll cut this up and put some music on it. And like I said, the livest part about this one is that I'm waiting for the feedback. I'm waiting for the discussion. I'm waiting for maybe some disagreements or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because this show, once again, it's not my show. It's our show. And I need you to be involved with it. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all that listen to me, I appreciate it. Those that's clicking, I appreciate it. I will be uploading this to Spreaker. Feel free to hit me up at Hatim, HA2TIM, at GiamiJourney.com. Yep, I got my own site. So hit me up. The course is coming soon. I'm slowly but surely working on it. I'm trying to get it so that it'll be able to last for 6 to 9 months, because those individuals that are joining the tribe, I want to make sure that I'm able to push you to your mental and your physical limits. You know what I'm saying? Because the issue is, I'm tired of people coming around me and just wanting to get in. So that, you know, I mean, it's like it's so easy to be involved in certain situations that we need to eliminate that shit. You know what I'm saying? We need to make it hard. We need to make people have to work to really be involved with the movement, especially when it comes to us liberating ourselves, when it comes to us running for freedom, when it comes to us nation building. You know what I'm saying? That we just open the doors and accept anybody when people coming in on real fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So Not only do we got shit going crazy in our neighborhoods, we got shit going on in organizations that are trying to do something. And nobody is really addressing this shit. You know what I'm saying? We got fools that are claiming to be conscious. You know what I'm saying? They are not conscious, they're just knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? Consciousness spill over into your life. You know what I'm saying? I know a bunch of people that are good at holding information. You're a motherfucking scholar. You're not conscious. You are a regurgitator. You are not a creator. You know what I'm saying? When you're conscious, you're able to create content. You're able to basically pull on information that that can help your people. You're able to pull that information from within you, and you're able to see it in different documents, and you're able to take that information and meld it into something new that your people can use. Or you're able to take old wisdom and give it to people, not only in your words but in your actions. So if you're not doing that, you know what I'm saying, you need to get the fuck up out of my face. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get with some of these other motherfuckers. But as far as Gian, man, as far as the journey, I'm not taking motherfuckers like that. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of niggas around me that's saying they down, but don't want to do no work. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody working these boards for me. I ain't got nobody working the boards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm signing jobs. So when you come to me, realize, because if you're not willing to work, you ain't willing to do this. If you're not willing to do the class, you're not willing to do this. If you're not willing to go to the woods, you're not willing to do this. So be honest with yourself. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? We don't, because that's one thing we don't have. I'm looking for those real friends with real skills. So wealth. Rather than sitting around here jacking off and playing games, you know? Because if you look on TV, they're not playing games with us. As a matter of fact, not only are they, those white inferiority people, or the white supremacy, or people that practice white supremacy, right? Not only are they not playing with us, the little niggas in the streets aren't playing with us no more. You know what I'm saying? I need to surround myself with real warriors. I need conscious warriors. I need individuals that when it goes down, I can handle both fronts, because you're going to be fighting on 2 or 3 fronts. I need individuals that's going to be able to handle business in the hood. I'm going to need the ones be able to handle business that's coming at us from another angle. So this is Brother High Tim. And I'm out once again. I always say that. So, hey, this has been Freestyle Fridays. This is Gianni Journey Radio. Thank you for tuning in. With that, I'm out.